Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. Oh my goodness. So it's been a minute. It's been a while. Excuse the mess behind me. This is like my kitchen renovation stuff that I try and I usually keep it kind of hidden. Hello, hello. Thank you. Yeah, I've been away. I have been away. I know. It got away from me. So what even happened? When was my last stream? Questions that I've been asking myself lately. Um, so yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've been in. Everything got away from me. Hello, Sai. You'll be eating dinner while listening. Well, thank you so much just for being here. I greatly appreciate it. I really, really do. Um, yeah, so it's been a lot. I went through like a stretch where I wasn't sleeping. So I ended up taking, let's see, and that was like 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, I was like not sleeping. I ended up taking a Tuesday and a Wednesday off from work to attempt to like catch up on sleep. And then from there, it has just been something after work, like every day. I went to several like city council meetings. I met the mayor of my sister city. I insulted the mayor. Um, I didn't know he was the mayor, and I was talking shit and telling him that I think a lot of the policies being to several introduced are hot garbage to me. I personally think. Hold on, sorry. I think that like what they're doing is kind of trash. Um, so I didn't realize it was the mayor. I insulted the policies proposed, and then I called him by the wrong name because I immediately forgot his name, as I do, because I'm a douchebag and a dick. But luckily, the friends I was there with through my tenant group, they thought it was hilarious, and then it was a bit embarrassing. Yeah, I'm sure he might not be used to people not knowing who he is. But yeah, I was a complete dick. And then he kind of defended his policies, and I was just like, "You're a clown," because they're 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 stripping renters of protections. They want to raise the rents. They want to remove the tenant protections that they do have, which what they do have is pathetic. It is abhorrent what they're considering tenant protections. And then they're introducing a couple things that are similar to Minneapolis, but nowhere close to the level of protection that we give our residents. So I was just like, it's just laughable. And it's kind of pathetic at this point that like they're doing so little. Um, but yeah. So I had that, and then there've just been, caucusing for like the um, the mayor of Minneapolis is up for re-election, thank God, because he's the worst. And so just helping with the new candidate that I'm supporting, it's been a lot. And then this last weekend, I was taking my mom to the airport, picking her up, had a bunch of family stuff, and then yesterday more family stuff. Today I went to the gun range finally. I got to do that. I fired about 6 different guns. Figured out ones that I definitely don't like, figured out ones that I do like. I am now the proud owner of a revolver, which I was pretty stoked with. My mom was like, "And it's yours." I was like, "Cool." um, so I did that, and I got to, one of my buddies has like a really, really cool gun. I have no idea what kind it is, but he had this laser sight on it, and when it turned on, I was like, "Oh shit." And I was like, "What?" And like my shots got way better. They basically said like it's like a cheat code. If you could have a cheat code in real life when it comes to a gun, apparently a laser sight is it. So it was really cool. It was snowing the whole time. We were at like an outdoor range an hour outside of the city, and it was a bunch of very left people. So it was really nice actually to go there with that community. and to know that like it was very non-confrontational, just us minding our own business. And then I'm your hero. Thank you. Heroine, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yes, I'm here to insult politicians. But yeah, so it was snowing the whole time. It sucked. It was cold. And like the cold didn't hit me until I was forced to like stand there in place for like half an hour as we like wrapped up our day. And then one of the guys, because like my mom gave me like 7 of her guns to shoot. Hey, Libby, how are you? I was able to catch your stream earlier, and I'm so happy. I caught like the bit end of it, but I was very happy to catch up a little bit on Girl World. My goodness. But yeah, so we were packing up, and one of the guys scoops up a bunch of guns off the table and dumps them into my bag, and I'm like, I don't think these are my guns. I don't think I have like. And so one of the guys from the group came, and he was like, has anyone seen this gun? And I was like, dude, check my bag. And then I got home and I like video called my mom. I was like, are these all of yours? Because I don't know. So yes, it was very much just a good day. I came home and just kind of crashed. I took a nap actually. So now I'm sipping an espresso martini and a knockoff Diet Cola, because we don't support Coca-Cola in this house. But yeah, so that's why I've been MIA, and I really have not been crocheting. I have not had a chance to do too much. You just finished dinner in the crock pot. Ooh, what you get? What you having? I am going to eventually be the owner of an Instapot, because my grandma got one and she hates it. I'm really excited for that Instapot actually. And she gave me a knife set, which they were like, oh, it's a brand new, like, complete knife set, and it's missing, like, 3 pieces. I'm like, where's my shit? Like, not to be ungrateful to the gift, but where's my shit? Let's see, you're behind on Beck and Destiny videos still, girl. There's so much to keep up with, especially when they're doing, like, hours streams and shit. I don't blame you. I have no idea what's been happening. I haven't been watching anything. Let's see, espresso martini sounds delicious. It is. I have been, I do need to be wary of it though, because it has caffeine. Anyways, I'm going to put on my mom gloves. I'm going to show you my rocks. So, at some point in March, it's been a while, I went to my dad's and we cut open a ton of rocks. And I have them here. In this dirty, disgusting water mixed with like laundry detergent, and we're gonna clean them. You have an Instapot that you never use? See, I never use my crock pot, and like I lost the lid to it, so I use a lid from a random pot, which kind of fits but kind of doesn't. But I like Instapots. It makes it really tender. What was that from? Recess? Anyways, I'm aging myself. Please, no one look up the show Recess, because it's ancient. So I looked it up, and they're like laundry detergent plus water to clean rocks. I don't know if this is going to be ASMR, but I have not had a chance to sit down and do this. And I'm like, you know what? That's what we're going to do. We're just going to wash some rocks. That way I can polish them, and they'll be really pretty. And, yeah, I'll be able to. There's a couple gals that I met from my sword fighting class, and we all exchanged like contact info on the last day. And I don't know if I talked about my sword fighting class. I think I might not have streamed. I think my last stream was like a Monday, and then like life went crazy on me, which was so rude of it. So rude. Alright, life needs to, like, mind its own fucking business. Stop interrupting me. Let's see. You posted pictures, in your Discord earlier? Earlier? What are words? What is my life? I will be taking a look then. But yeah, so we have a ton of rocks of varying sizes, and I should have grabbed, like, clean bucket. Please let me know if, like, the sound of me doing this is annoying, and I will put on music or something. Are you an Olympic sword fighter yet? No. I wish, though. I'll think about it all the time, because I'm sure as shit not paying $150 a month for classes. I was thinking about maybe looking around to see about cheaper classes, but I still do want to learn an instrument, and I still will need to then take classes for that instrument as well. But I did find an affordable entry-level banjo that I will hopefully be buying this coming month. And then classes are like $50, so I'll probably sign up for like a couple classes a month. The sound is fine for you? Okay. Do let me know if that changes. But yeah, I'm excited for just to continue trying new things. But I will be looking around for like maybe a group that does some sword fighting on like a less extreme seriousness level, because his whole thing, like, he is super serious about it. It's $150 a month, and then there's like 4 to 5 sessions per week, and he's like, and it's best if you're at all of them. And I'm like, ooh. But then me and the gals who were talking shit, we were like, well, he was never on time for a single lesson that we did. Like, he was always late. And then they're like, you know, that might be a hint of how his other classes are run too. Because he was even talking about, he was like, well, if we don't really have, you know, anything to do at, you know, the training that you're paying for, you know, then we just, like, we watch fight footage and really analyze it. And I'm like, what do you mean if we don't have anything to do? Like, sword fighting, babe. that's literally what we're doing. So I don't know. You might find me LARPing in a park somewhere, but that's yet to be determined. And then, what else have I even been doing with my life? I don't know. I don't know. And I really hope that March is the last month that it's like this, because I'm not cool with it. I feel like I was hijacked. But yes, how has everyone's life been? Are we all staying sane? I hope so. Yeah, I don't know, the boys have been good. I still haven't finished my kitchen remodel, obviously, by the mess beside me. I know once I do, though, it'll be glorious, but, you know, I just gotta do all that. And then, let's see. I went to a party. And that was, it was okay. I was relieved that I knew 2 people there. So that was cool. And then, yeah, I chatted with a gal who she was tweaked on something. It was really neat to watch her. So she was entertainment. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't really know the guy who invited me to the party either, so I was like, I'm super happy my friends are here. It's always a weird unknown, like, ugh, what are the vibes gonna be like? And of course, when, like, you walk in, there was, like, a horde of men blocking the doorway. It's like, you know, you can take more than a step into someone's house before you just decide to post there for the night. But that's just me being a dick. You ask yourself what you're doing with your life quite often. Yeah, that has been my recent life as well. I worked with a guy about, like, a work placement program that I'm going to be applying to, but that's all just, like, kind of pending stuff. Is that one guy still stalking you? No, I blocked him. I was curious about him the other day, though, but I didn't, like, do anything. I was like, I wonder if he's still messaging an account that he's blocked on. And then I, you know, moved on with my day. This is much thought as I gave it, to be so honest. I am nervous. I'm in that area all the time. And so now I'm like, what if I run into him? That'd be so awkward. But, oh well. Oh well. Like, I'll just be like, hey, person. You. And then I'll run away. Maybe I'll like... I don't know. I'm usually there with other people, though. I'm not in that area alone too often, so not that big of a deal. I would show you, I should grab, like, a clean bucket with, like, clear water. That way I can rinse them and then show you what I'm actually working on. That would have been a much better plan, a well-thought-out plan. But, you know, I'm literally telling you how things have been lately. There's not much thought going into life right now. I'm just living it. Life is kind of living me right now. Hold on, bear with me. I'm gonna lose the mom gloves. I'm so happy I have these, though. I hate when my hands are, like, wet and touching stuff. Disgusting. Alright, bear with me. The briefest of moments, I assure you. I will be right back. Okay. See, I told you it would just be a minute. Okay, so I have my clean bowl of water. Oh, hi, Nib. Hello. How may I assist you today? Yeah, this guy also contributed to me not sleeping. So I have him to thank. He's such a thoughtful baby. He won't leave me alone in the middle of the night. He like climbs all over my head. It's very disruptive. Much like he's being now. Very disruptive. Okay. Just dip this in some water here. And alright. Bear with me. He chews all my cables, and he like wedged himself underneath one of my pillows while I was sleeping to get to my cable. I was just like at the end of my rope with him. Okay, I don't know if it'll pick it up very well. No, it's not. This stupid lamp. Ooh, I might need to scrub harder. Hold on. Let's see. Maybe if the light isn't as harsh. So I have, kind of. Maybe if I like really force it. Anyways. So I got a bunch of these. But I'm glad I can now rinse it because I can see spots that I missed. I was unsure how hard I would need to scrub, but basically I've been rinsing them for the last like week, and just to break through the layers of like clay on the rocks. Let's see. Sigh. Libby, you ask yourself what happened to your life every day? Oh, girly, what happens? You doing okay? Big hugs. Yeah, big hugs. You have no idea, Sigh. Oh my gosh. Should I go ahead and make some muffins tonight? Hell yeah, girl, make the muffins. Absolutely. That sounds like a great plan. I made some Greek yogurt bagels. It's basically Greek yogurt, obviously, and then some bread flour with everything seasoning, and it's really weird. It's a different texture, but it's not a bad texture by any means. Scrub, yeah. I know, scrub, baby. It's ridiculous. There's so much clay. When we were done cutting the rocks and we were cleaning the saw table, we were pulling straight up clay off of it. It was ridiculous. Let that one dry. Yeah, there's definitely some nice ones in here. There are definitely some that are kind of butt, not gonna lie. Let's see. I don't know if this will turn out very well. Also, I'm dumping water on my laptop, but that's okay. It's just a little bit of water. It's good for electronics, right? And then I have some like this one that are, it's just a flat, we literally cut a rock in half. That's all we did. Some of these were just rocks, and we found that out the hard way. Like, how do you know it's just a rock until you're, sawing through it? Like, this one is mostly just a rock, but then it has, like, a few little caverns in here. So I wonder if I were to saw it again, if maybe I would find a more cavernous area, but I also don't want to do that because I was very nervous of my fingers the entire time. Yeah, muffins do sound really good. What kind of muffins, Libby? Tell us about your muffin. Martha, white muffin mix, and a protein shake. What's white muffin? Well, I mean, besides, white muffin. But, like, what's white muffin? I've never heard of white muffin. I don't know if I should bother with the ones that aren't really good. As far as some of these rocks. But who am I to deem what rock is a good rock and what rock isn't? Oh, a lot of water. I also kind of wish I knew where these were from, but I don't. I do want to get like one of those rock tumblers. I think that would be phenomenal. Martha White is the brand of muffin mix. Yeah, but like what kind of muffins? What flavor? Ew, I never buy milk. Those are the worst ones. I only look for baked stuff where it's like add water. That's the only thing I can do. I don't have milk. Do I have vanilla protein powder? No. I bet that would be gross. Never mind. Terrible idea. That might be gross. I should just buy like the box milk that you can keep in the shelf. I think they sell it at like the Dollar Tree. Ooh, my rinse bowl is already disgusting. That's impressive. I think I should focus on like the rocks that are actually interesting. Maybe that'll be better. That and the little ones. Rather than the duds that I have. So many duds. Like, I didn't even finish cutting this one. You can just see the line of the saw. I gave up because I was like, it's just a rock. It's not worth my time. Let's see. Oh. And that was just clay. Oh, chocolate chip. That's what's up. That's what's up. I haven't had a muffin in forever. I usually go for like a blueberry though. You want Costco muffins? I don't think I've ever had a Costco muffin. I'm more of a Danish girl. If I'm gonna do like a breakfast pastry, it's gonna be a Danish. And ideally it's gonna be like raspberry or apple. Apple Danishes are wonderful. There's a place by me that does like these incredible, it's like a mixed wild berry tart. It's really good. But also every weekend they have like a line around the corner and it's not worth it. Like it's good, but it's not like wait in a line for over an hour good by any means. And their coffee's kind of mid, to be honest. Costco muffins. Damn, am I sleeping on Costco? I have more of a Sam's Club household. So we're at odds there. Oh, my parents are doing like this vowel. Wow, what are words? Why can't I talk? They're renewing their vows. And I get to help my mom plan that for the next two months. So I'm really looking forward to that. It'll be fun. Your other option for your muffins are strawberry cheesecake. Ooh. Donut. Fuck yeah, donuts. Donuts make me go nuts. Thank you, Michael Scott. Strawberry cheesecake sounds really good, actually. Okay, that one looks weird, but it'll suffice. I did save one of my brothers. So my little brother got to help us cut these as well, which was really fun. My dad did a lot of the really small ones because we were nervous, but he has one of the best ones. I've kept it wrapped up. It has not soaked in water at all, so it's really dirty. But this is like one of the better ones that we got. And this is not doing it any justice. It looks way better in person, I swear. I swear! Where's the other one that I did? This one's also a really good one. I hope it wasn't, you know what, it's a rock. I was literally about to say, like, I hope it's not bad for the rock to be soaking, but it's literally a rock in water. It's fucking fine, Heather. Criminy. This is one of the other really good ones. It has, like, an awesome cavern on it. Plus, it's got a really flat bottom, so it's gonna sit nicely. I'm really stoked for this one. I'm really stoked about rocks, you guys. This is like... I have an entire shelf, like this massive thing back here on my bar wall has a ton of rocks on it and geodes and stuff. It's my favorite. It also holds the scam mugs that my mom got me that she was like, they're rock mugs. And I'm like, bitch, this is resin and plastic. I will literally never use them, but I will keep them until the day she dies. And that is when it will be appropriate for me to hawk them in the garbage where they fucking belong. I am gonna start separating out like the regular rocks. I'm not gonna scrub a normal rock. I'm only gonna be putting work into the ones that I deem worth it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm excited. I thought it was very sudden and weird. So I did ask a lot of like probing questions because my mom will come and visit me and she'll be like, well, things are okay, like when they're totally not okay. So she's said things that make, like she nearly left my dad like a year ago. They were teetering. And so I'm like, so why the vow renewal? Like, what's the tea here? What's the deal? And apparently he really wants to do it. And he's being a bit religious about it. So I'm like, oh, are you about to like promise to obey? And you know, his word is the law. Like, what are his vows gonna be? So I don't know. But I am going to help her pick flowers. I'm going to help her with invitations and decorations. And I'm going to keep my fat mouth shut. But I told her, I was like, if he says anything about, you know, an obedient wife or anything like that, I'm going to boo him at the ceremony very loudly. I will not tolerate it. I will not, like, I don't know, because, like, he's the kind of guy where it's like, he just says something and he believes that he's right because he's a guy. You know, he's like, well, I'm the man and because I said so. And we're like, no, you're in a house with 3 women, babe. Do better. So I was like, if his vows turn out to be like that, like, I will straight up boo him shamelessly. So we will see. But I was surprised by, like, the suddenness of it. But to each their own. It's none of my business. And yeah, so could be worse. It's something to look forward to, though. I just thought it was sudden. I was like, hold up, why? You know, like, you were just talking about maybe leaving the guy. What changed last week? So, who knows? My mom is very much like, she's fine with whatever until she's not. And I'm like, what do you mean until you're not? And she's like, well, you know, I'm okay with the relationship until I'm not. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, you know, if I change my mind. And I was like, so are you unhappy or not? And she was like, I'm happy until I'm not. And I'm like, bitch. So I don't know. My mom is a psycho. I'm not gonna lie. They're both problematic in their own ways. Yeah, exactly. You better hit the like or I'm gonna throw a rock at you. Target practice. And if my shooting says anything, my aim is okay, so you might get actually hit. I was actually okay, you know what? I was pretty happy with my first bit of shooting after not shooting for so long. I had some decent clusters, I'm not gonna lie. And the guns I didn't like because I didn't hit shit. The kick was terrible. Especially on her little ones. God, she had this tiny gun, and I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with that bitch. It was like, and I'm like, yeah, no. I didn't get anywhere with that. I missed it by a mile. Thank God there was a mountain of dirt behind us. You're gonna use that? I'm happy until I'm not. Yeah, Sai, you're gonna drive someone insane. Because I was literally sitting there, I was like, what does that mean? Like, are you happy or not? She's like, until I'm not. Like, what the fuck? She's gonna wake up one day and be like, I'm not happy. Like, I don't know. I'm gentle parenting my mother currently, so we'll see if I can get to the bottom of this. So she came back. Okay, she had me pick her up from the airport last week. And it was supposed to be like 12:30, and I was like, okay, I can do 12:30. It's past my bedtime, but I can do 12:30. And then she texts me at like 10 o'clock. She's like, it's gonna be more like 2:30. And then like an hour later, she texts me again. She's like, okay, it's gonna be more like 2:07. I was like, I'm gonna close my eyes, and let's hope that time doesn't change because I'm not gonna know. And it ends up like we don't get back to my place until like 3 something. And in the car, she is perked. She is just like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah. So I'm like nodding and like, yeah, the whole time. And I'm listening, don't get me wrong. I'm not like ignoring her, but I got nothing in me. And then she's like, what's wrong? Are you okay? What's wrong? And I'm like, girl, it's 3 a.m. Like, that's what's wrong. It's 3 a.m. and I'm conscious. So she went to, her, what even is he? My grandmother has had like 8 husbands. So the guy that she was last with finally kicked the bucket, and I'm not sad. He was a piece of crap. But the guy's kids came around thinking that he was gonna get like money, and we're like, no. You're not even in the will. Like, their dad literally didn't even mention them in the will. So they're nothing to us. And they didn't even go and visit him when he was dying in hospice. Like, okay, you didn't go see your dad when he was dying, but you want to come around to see if you get anything? Like, be so for real. So that's what she was doing. And then she's, like, telling me all the drama that happened at, like, 2 a.m. And obviously, like, I live for the drama. I love it. I wish I had been there. Where was she? She was in Colorado with my grandmother. They were doing a celebration of life for her piece of crap husband. I was gonna say ex-husband because he's dead, but he died and no one's sad. And his kids came around, you know, rummaging for money, hoping to get something that, like, anything that he did have. He was in hospice for like a year. So anything that he did have went to pay for that. So, I mean, he was bled dry by the time he kicked it. Um, so his kids were like mad that they weren't getting anything, basically. And that's why, like, my mom went out there. So it was just like a lot when she came back. And that's why I was so surprised. I was like, you're out there for like this, you know, celebration of life, which I don't even know why they called it that. I don't like when people die and then they're like, oh my God, he was such a good person. It's like, no, he was a giant piece of crap, and let's not like turn the dead into a martyr when they weren't. Oof, nobody being sad that you're gone is he was an awful person. Like, he made me and my sister incredibly uncomfortable throughout our entire childhoods. He was not allowed in multiple like retail establishments because he harassed the women who worked there. We found out that he had been having an affair, multiple affairs. He would take the women to their camper, which it's like a little camper that sits in the back of a truck bed, and that's where he was having his affairs with women in that tiny camper. And I was like, damn, the bar's in hell. Like, not only are you like banging this old decrepit man, but you're going to the camper because his wife's in the main house. Like, that's insane. Good God, your standards are low. So yeah, like, nothing to be mourned, nothing to be missed. But like, I spent the whole time, because clearly I don't care about the person, but my mom has like this weird empathy thing. Like, sorry the way I'm saying it. My mom's a bleeding heart for anything and anybody, and I'm just like, good God, woman, you're gonna bleed to death at this point. So she's mourning what could have been, what you know, the idea of him maybe having been a good parent, a good, you know, husband, a good grandfather, which he wasn't. And and then she's like, well, I just think of when my dad passed, and I'm like, is he your dad? Like, are you really gonna put him on the same level as your dad, who died like before I was born? But I've only heard good things about him. So I'm just like, are you really gonna put like this garbage guy on the same level as your dad? Like, be so fucking for real. So I'm being like myself. I'm being, you know, kind of a cold-hearted bitch about everything. And my mom is basically just sitting in the car next to me crying, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, stop crying. Like, you're literally crying over the guy who was cheating on your mom. He was straight up, we had to call the sheriff because he was walking around the house with guns, fully loaded, and my grandmother was like locking the doors to undress, to shower, to get ready for bed. Like, she was doing everything under the pretense that he is walking around the house with a loaded gun, and he was like threatening her. He had like some dementia, and he was like, you need to get out of this house. He thought that she was one of his side chicks, and he was basically like on the verge of killing my grandmother. So we called the sheriff. We're like, hey, could you maybe like intervene because we can't get out there. And the sheriff was like, we can't really do anything about this. And we're like, could you get the guns out of the house? And he was like, well, he hasn't done anything, so we really can't help. And I'm like, okay, cool. So this guy gets to murder my grandmother. And then you'll be like, oh, we should have done something sooner. That's really what it is. And they were like, yeah, basically. So we called one of their neighbors. One of their neighbors came and collected all the guns and got them out of the house. But yeah, he was just like a total scumbag. And so here's my mom, like, blubbering, like, oh my God, over this guy. I'm like, like, even the way he treated my grandmother, who is a frigid bitch, by the way. I love her to death, but she is the coldest woman I've ever encountered. And she's just kind of mean, too. Like, and I'm just like, look at look at how he treated her. You're really sad about this guy? And so, yeah, it was just a lot, and I just basically kept making her cry all weekend. So, I'm a dick. I'm a huge dick. But at the same time, I'm a dick who's gonna be honest with you and wonder why the fuck you're crying about an abusive prick. Like, ew, why? And the women he was having, okay, anyways, just gross. Just gross. So yeah, I was like very unsympathetic during my mother's period of grieving, but she wasn't even grieving him. Like, that's the thing. She wasn't grieving him. She was grieving the idea of, like, oh, well, he could have been a good husband, and he could have been a good, like, yeah, but he wasn't. He wasn't. Like, it's not even, and she was like, oh, but his kids. I was like, bro, his kids hated him because of who he was as a person. Like, my mom likes to idealize people, and it's really annoying at a certain degree, where it's just like, I don't know, she'd probably she would probably be like, oh, well, I'm sure, you know, who's a mass murderer, who's an awful person, name an awful person. My mom would be like, I'm sure he's not that bad. Like, babe, someone could be murdering my mother, and she'd be like, well, they have their reasons. I'm so sad. They could have been a better member of society. She would be sad for them before herself. It's exhausting, basically. So in comparison, I look like a monster because I'm just like, ew, what are you doing? Extending, I don't know, some people, like, they are who they are. Ted Bundy, yeah, my mom would be like, I'm sure he was troubled inside and didn't mean it. He could have had such a nice life and been a good person, but he wasn't. But he wasn't. So, that's also, like, as a divorced woman, whenever my mom is, like, complaining about my stepdad, I'm like, okay, but his actions. Because she's like, oh, well, he said he'll do this. And I'm like, did he, though? And she's like, no. And I'm like, see, that's the problem. And so, with this vow renewal, that's why I'm like, okay, but is he changing and making progress and being a better husband? Or is he saying that he's going to? And how long is, like, him saying that he's going to gonna keep you, you know, placated? And that's where we come back to, she's happy until she's not. Yeah, my mom is clinically insane. Yeah, she takes, like, a cocktail of medications every day because she's literally insane. Sai, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I just think, I don't know, like, you can't bleed for everybody. You can't be a bleeding heart for every person. I mean, it's gotta be exhausting. There's being empathetic, and then there's just being a naive doormat. Like, be so for real. I don't know. If I ever slip into that level of delusion... Oh, I thought I heard something. Anyways, if I slip into that level of delusion, someone needs to take one of these rocks and bash me in the head with it until I come to my senses. Probably just a couple hits will suffice. Yeah, I love my mother. Don't get me wrong. Please don't get me wrong. I do adore my mother. I gentle parent her. Alright, we approach everything calmly and empathetically until eventually I have to be like, until eventually I yell at her and I'm like, be so for real right now. Because sometimes she just needs to hear how ridiculous she's being. And I think it kind of snaps her out of it. And she's like, oh, maybe you'll pull me out of it. Thank you. Thank you. Just ridiculous. But yes. On the upside, and this is why I don't need children. Alright? I'm a mother to my mother. Oh my goodness. Oh, and see, so much has happened. I'm really excited for this summer though. My little brother just got a new bike, and he finally has a bike with gears, so we can go on, like, real bike rides. So I'm super stoked for that. My little sister is attempting to move out of the family home, which I think she is ridiculous. Yeah, gentle parenting to tough love. Exactly. It needs to be a spectrum, you know? You can only gentle parent for so long until you hit a level of like, okay, now you're just being ridiculous. You know, you have to kind of give them both. In my opinion, you know, everyone parents differently. How do you all parent your parents? What techniques are you using? You know, obviously we don't hit. We never hit. You know, sometimes. But yeah, my little sister is trying to move out, and it was really interesting. So I'm just, hold on, Libby. Oh, a 10-speed. Hell yeah, he got a real fucking bike. I'm so stoked. So stoked because I felt so bad for him. He had just like a single speed bike, and we did like 5 miles around the lake last summer, and bro was having a hard time because obviously it sucks. And then I rode his bike for a minute, and I was like, fuck this, dad needs to buy you a new bike. Libby, your parents are dead, bitch. So I guess a seance. I am sorry, Libby. I'm sorry about that. We could do a seance. I've never done one. I'd be open to participating with that. We could ask them. Let's see. Scythe, you would rule with an iron fist? Yeah. Basically. My word is law. Yeah. It's fun though, you know. I go over to her house, we clean it, you know. I yell at her for buying things on Temu. She's got a problem. we went shopping when she was here, and we each got like a new purse. And then she empties out her old purse, and she's about to throw it away. And I was like, I used her full name at her, and I was like, what do you think you're doing? And she's like, I don't want it. And I was like, and what do we do with things that we don't want? And she's like, we donate them. And I was like, ooh, ooh. So I had her, because I have a box for next weekend to take to a free market. And so she put it in the box, and then she's like, what do I do with my wallet? And I'm like, you put it in the box! Anyways, so, you know, maybe the threat of violence, but we never make contact. Scythe is bossy. You know what? That's okay. Sometimes someone needs to be the boss in this household. So I agree with Scythe. You gotta be a bit bossy. She's got the right idea. Okay, so I went over, my grandpa bought new pants, and I'm supposed to hem them for him. And so I bop over to the house because my dad was like, yeah, come by Saturday, they'll be here. And they weren't. So we're all just kind of like chatting in the living room, and my little sister gets up, and she just kind of like leaves. And she like just leaves the house entirely, and I'm like, bye. Like, okay. You know, she's a teenager. She's acting like it. So then, like, it goes quiet for a minute, and I'm like, so what's the tea? Like, what's going on? And they're like, well, she is applying for apartments. And I'm like, oh, okay. I lived with my parents during the recession. I lived with them when they were on government assistance. All right. Since then, they have like a 5-bedroom house. They have, you know, they've done well. They've done well in the last decade since I left, and, you know, my younger siblings have had a very good upbringing, and I'm very happy for them. And it's weird to me that my little sister wants to move out. Like, and it's not even for her boyfriend. That's the thing. It's not to live with her boyfriend. It's like, apparently she has a friend who doesn't have the best home life, and so they're applying for apartments. And and my dad has this look, so I'm like, what's going on? And he was like, well, they set up multiple savings accounts for her. So she has her main checking, then she has her main savings, and then he basically said, he was like, here's a savings account where you will, essentially, if you want to have your own place, whatever your income is, you're going to basically act like you have an apartment right now by moving that money from checking into the savings account, which will is essentially eventually end up being enough for like your deposit, first and last, any fees, stuff like that, right? So he got all of that set up for her, and I was like, wow, that's like a really great way to go about it. I didn't get any of that. I didn't get any kind of like financial, here's how to manage money kind of, education from my parents. So I was like, that's really good that you're doing that for her. And he's like, well, she's not really taking it seriously because there's never been money in the account. And then they sat down and they did a budget with her, and they were like, here are all your expenses. They said that they'll continue to pay for her phone bill. So they laid out the expenses, and then they're like, here's your rent, here's your other bills. She has medical bills, stuff like that. And then she doesn't even know for the apartment whether or not she has to pay for utilities. I asked her, I was like, oh, okay, so are you gonna like come home to do laundry and stuff like that? And she's like, well, no, they have washers and dryers there. I'm like, well, how much are they per load? Like, how much, because that's an expense. Every time I do laundry for a wash and a dry, in total, it's $6. And it's $6 if I don't have to run either one again for whatever reason, right? And so, like, basically, my dad and my stepmom, they're like, yeah, no, she's not taking it seriously. She just started working full-time. Like, she has her first full-time job. And they're like, they're really hoping that, like, they don't get approved for the apartment. And I'm on their side for it, to be honest. Not to, like, be, nothing against her. But I think she's looking at what she has with, like, a nice setup at home. She's like, why are you trying to leave before you need to, before you're ready to? But they're really worried that, like, she's going to get herself into a bad financial situation, which my first place, I was living with a friend who by the end of it was no longer a friend. I found out she wasn't paying her half of the rent. She cost me thousands of dollars. We still got evicted. It was a nightmare. It was a terrible situation, and I went home because I had no fucking money left. I had to drain all of my accounts were empty to settle it up. And so I'm like, yeah, with them working part-time, with them not really going about it in an educated way, that poor ignorant girl, the struggle is for real. The struggle is fucking for real. The cost of living right now. And I even told her, I was like, for furniture, I can help you pick stuff up at the end of the month, because people throw away all their stuff. I get most of my shit for free. I get my shit for free because I shop what people are discarding on moving day, and I'm not sorry. I'm going to keep doing it because it's bullshit. And then I even told her, I was like, so we can help you get furniture and stuff like that. And then I told her, like, you should also look at, like, food banks in your area, or, like, places that do, groceries and stuff like that. That way you can get stuff at no cost as well. I set her up on multiple, like, buy nothing apps and websites, as well as, like, Facebook groups that people just give stuff away at. And the whole time she's like, I guess I could use that. I guess, like, we'll see, we'll look. And I'm just like, you're not being smart about this. Like, you could feel it. At least they're trying to get her to understand. Yeah, no, 100% they're trying. And that's what I don't get. I'm like, dude, you have, like, she has freedom. She comes and goes as she pleases. All she has to do is keep her room relatively clean. It's not like she has, like, tons of chores by any means. It's just really weird. I don't get why she's trying to flee. Like, I get it. Like, we were all young once, and you want, some more freedoms. I get that. But at the same time, like, why are you running into a situation that is potentially gonna be harmful to you? Because, yeah, like, it's so weird. I don't know. I just think she's spoiled. She's gotten just so much just kind of, like, handed to her. She's gotten to do so much that, like, I was never allowed to come and go as I please. I was never even allowed to have a job because I needed to babysit. So I'm just like, she has all these advantages, and it's almost like she's like spitting in their face, where she's like, ugh, whatever, it's whatever. Like, she's kind of a spoiled brat, and I'm not sorry for saying it. We did that in South Korea. We'd walk around the neighborhoods to go furniture shopping. Yeah, I've gotten the credenza that I had was a vintage piece that, if restored, was worth thousands of dollars. I got it for free off the side of the road. I kept it for a couple years, and I sold it for a few $100s. Like, I've had, like, incredible vintage pieces that I got for fucking free. I have decent furniture. I love my furniture. I love my setup. I nearly fought an old lady for my vanity because I got there first, and she comes up. I'm loading this vanity into my moving truck, and because I was doing a big pickup day, I was hauling. Oh my god, the things I got, it was incredible. So I get this vanity, and she's like, "Oh, my husband and I, we can give you a hand with that." And I'm like, "Fuck off, bitch! Like, I know your game, and you're not getting me with that friendly shit. Like, yeah, I'm sure you'd love to help me. You'd love to take this off my hands, old hag. I know the game, because I'd do the same fucking thing." But yeah, like, I love free shit. I slow down at alleys, because I'm like, anything there? I'm a hound dog for that kind of shit. Hell yeah, Libby. I love that you get it, because I love it. I don't know, I'm not gonna go to Goodwill and pay their stupid prices. I'm also not gonna fuck with Facebook Marketplace, where people are charging for, like, vintage couches where, you know, the cushion inside is essentially disintegrated because it's 100 years old. And they're like, "Oh, vintage couch, my family and I only used it for 2 decades. I would like $800 for this, please." It's like, kick rocks. Like, gargle nails, sir. Like, unbelievable. No, your shit is not worth that. I had this really cute little love seat for like a hot minute. In the ad, it looked to be this stunning olive green. I was obsessed. I was so obsessed with it, and I bought it, and in the sunlight, it shone olive green, and it was beautiful. I get that piece of shit into my apartment, and not only is it not olive green, it's like this dehydrated piss yellow that didn't go with anything I had. I was furious. Oh my god. It only looked good when, like, the sunlight hit it just right one time during the day. And it was very, like, very squishy. Like, all the springs, the padding, disintegrating. So I just... if I can get something for free, I'm gonna get it for free. All day long. I don't even like giving corporations money. So why the fuck would I want to give some random money for their garbage that has been so used and abused? Like, here's a couch. We have 3 dogs and 4 kids, and it's been filled with our farts, and my kids have vomited on it, and the dog pissed there one. Like, $400, please, for our thing that's worth fucking nothing. Or I love when it's been, like, scratched to crap by their cats, and they're just like, minor details, you know, minor damage, but, like, you could fix it if you wanted to. You could totally fix it. It's like, bitch, you could have fixed it by putting a plastic cover on it. Initially, my shit has plastic on it so that my cats don't scratch it, because I don't want my shit to be all fucked up by my cats. But that's just me. Lighting can make a huge difference. Yeah, Libby. That was a lesson I learned the hard way. Lighting was a bitch. I really liked the idea of that couch, but even better, I spilled, like, what did I spill on it? It was a pink drink. I spilled a pink drink on it, but the cushions covered it perfectly. So when I sold it, I just had the cushions, you know, placed perfectly to hide it. So I definitely have some bad karma coming my way. But I also sold shitty cars for like 5 years, so at this point it's a drop in the bucket. But yes, so Grandma died on this vintage couch. $1,000, please. Like, for real. Or, like, old mattresses. People will try and sell their fucking mattress. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Alright? It's just... I don't know. Anytime I see, like, even side tables and nightstands, I've seen some listed for, like, $100 or even $50. Frankly, $20 is too damn much. Post it up for $5 or $10 and take what you can get. But again, I go to a free market. I cannot. I'm gonna wait until moving day. And that's, I think the one thing I am gonna buy, though, I do want, like, a vanity mirror. So I found one for, like, $60. That's the kind of shit that I'll buy new. But beyond that, you break the couch and her spirit. Oh my God. Oh, you take the couch and her spirit? Yeah, Granny's ghost is coming with ya. Like a possessed doll. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, I'm nervous for her. I'm nervous for her. I felt bad saying it, but like I was looking at my dad and stepmom, and I'm just kind of like, so are we hoping that she doesn't get approved for it? And my dad was straight up, he was like, honestly, if I'm a landlord and I'm looking at two 19-year-olds who just started working full-time jobs, I'm not going to give them an apartment. I'm not going to do it. And I was like, yeah, no, that's fair. The only reason I got my first apartment was because it was my friend and I, and the other two applicants were two men. And the landlord told me, he was like, I would rather trust two young ladies than two young men. And I was like, yeah, sexism for the win. Fuck yeah. And we turned out to be terrible tenants. But then I was joking with them, and I was like, what if they're both really messy? And they were like, oh yeah, they're gonna be messy. Like Bailey, like my little sister would 100% turn into a bit of a slob. And I could see it. I've seen her bedroom. And then like, I guess the friend that she's moving in with is a guy. And I'm just like, ooh, like we all know how men are. So yeah, we'll see, but let's see, you have one of those giant square bathroom mirrors in your garage. Yeah, does it have like the lights on it? That's what's up. And 3 ceiling fans. Ooh, look at you, bougie. 3 ceiling fans. Lucky lady. So are you, you haven't found time to do installs? Is that what we're hearing? Libby living the fancy life. I know, right? Shit. Although the vanity I'm looking at is like, has a button on the mirror, and then it has like the lights and whatnot, so it's very, it's I don't know, I think it's cute. I'm gonna see about wall mounting it. I think that'd be ideal, but it's going in my bedroom. It's not for the bathroom by any means. Let's see, not on them, but you have 3 bathroom vanities in the garage too. Jeez, are you doing renovations? Am I gonna take a trip to Missouri to help you renovate? I would finish yours. I mean, clearly I can't finish my own renovations. It's like cleaning house, you know? It's more fun to clean someone else's house than it is to clean my own, you know? Like, I go to my mom's and we go through her closet and we're like, oh, you know, we're gonna clean this and let's clean the garage, let's organize this. But then I look at my own place and I'm like, nah, I don't want to. Your garage sounds like a dream. I know, right? Who needs the hardware store? Let's just go to Libby's garage. She's got everything. There's an old SNL skit, and it's called Stefan. And he's like, this club has everything. Libby, your garage has everything. Stefan did make a comeback with the signal chat drama going on in our government. This signal chat has everything. Mike Hagseth. I think he even said, like, who was that one guy he always ragged on? I can't remember the bit enough to comment on it. I should stop talking. You need to paint your kitchen cabinet still. Bitch, me too. I gotta sand these doors and then paint them. And then I gotta buy hardware and install them. I don't have the time. And I gotta save for a PC, and I gotta save for a banjo, and I gotta save for this and that. Like, what is life right now? I just need I need a distant relative because I don't want anyone close to me to die. But a distant relative who only leaves me a large sum of money. Because, I don't know, but... Or I need to win the lottery, but I don't support gambling. I just don't want to give more money to the government. This rinse bowl is utterly disgusting. Let's see. I need to get... I don't know what kind of a scrubber I could get to get like way down into these cracks and crevices. We'll see. Maybe I could like power wash. I think we talked about your cabinets. What color are you painting them again? Because you had a portion of them painted, didn't you? Same. It would be a weekend project to paint them. You say that. You say a weekend project. All right. Let me humble you on that egregious lie you just stated. Because I went into mine thinking it would be a weekend project. That shit is not a weekend project. Sanding alone? Are they already sanded? You can never get the time to do it. Yeah, no. Because painting them, I think you could paint them in a weekend. Potentially. But it's the Hail Navy. I'm gonna assume you meant Hail Mary. Or are we hailing the Navy? It's a military institution. I don't know if we should hail them. Because I really gave it a go. I gave her a go for like 4 days. And dear God, it was the longest 4 days of my fucking life. Although I did watch a video of this woman painting a fridge the other day, and I'm like, I bet I could paint my fridge. And then I needed to just sit down and shut up for a bit, because, you know, me and my stupid shit. Scrubbing these fucking rocks. This is so stupid. But you know what? I'm so happy that y'all are here to chat. There's no one I'd rather sit here and yap while I scrub rocks with. No, the color... Oh, that's right. Hail Navy. That's right. That's right. Blue gang. I'm blue. Dabba-dee, dabba-die, and dabba-dee. I love a blue kitchen, though. For real. I do like my kitchen. My counters are fugly, but that's a different beast to tackle. You just need to degrease them, prime them with white, then paint them. Okay, that's a bit better. That's not too tedious. See, I wish mine was only... I wish I could have just primed and painted. I gotta remove 40 layers of paint because they're so decrepit and disgusting. God forbid my landlord maintain anything. I hope you hear me through these thin walls. Ah! There's soap everywhere. Like little soap bits that have splattered. Let's see. We're getting some decent progress done on these rocks, though, I will say. Let's see. Ugh. The worst part is taking these off. God, it won't come off. Okay, there we go. I'm free. Let's see. That does look a lot better. I don't know if it'll show very well. This light needs to, like, have a happy medium or something. Well, they're looking pretty. I can see the sparkle. There's just so many layers of clay, too. There are some where I definitely, like, can't get far enough into all of these. So maybe, like, a solid rinse, you know, shake and see if I can get something. After you get the cabinets painted, you can get your countertops replaced. Yeah, I was looking at like various vinyls that I could put onto the countertop. The only hard part is there's like on part of the countertop, there's like this weird metal framing on it, and I don't know why. And it's such a bitch too, because like when I'm cleaning, things get under there, so I then have to like scrub underneath it to the best of my ability and try and get stuff out, because obviously I don't want anything, you know, getting under there because it's gross. Yeah, it almost feels like it makes it harder to clean. Let's see. You don't want to hear what goes on behind those thin walls. Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing until the dinosaur upstairs comes in at like midnight and stomps and stomps and throws things into the corner and onto the ground. And then, you know what though, I have heard like vibrating. I think they put their phone on the floor. I don't want to know either, but not a damn thing happens. Nothing ever will. I've actually resigned myself to die alone, and I'm okay with it. I'm super happy about it, actually. Because I had to talk with a guy the other day, and I was like, this is exhausting. This is the worst. I don't think I shared it, but, like, at the last sword fighting class, so me and a few of the girls, we all exchanged, like, Instagrams and stuff like that, and it was you know, it was nice, and, you know, we chatted a lot. And we talked a lot of shit. We talked a lot of shit about several people specifically in that class. So I talked about how there was that guy that I had to be like, you need to chill. He has the worst name ever. His name is Phil. And I don't know why, but I feel like that's a terrible name. Not only because it's Phil and it sounds like that, but because like his full name is probably Philip, which is worse somehow. I don't know. But it was just really nice to talk a lot of shit at the end of the class, where it was just like, he was the worst. And his whole introduction, he was like, yeah, I'm new in town, I just really want to meet people. And it's like a room full of women, and we're like, we don't want you, bro. Like, nobody here. And it was very gay. Because that was one thing the instructor talked about. He was like, you know, and most of my students are women, or they're like, you know, part of the LGBTQ, and the guys who have stuck around are very much like the right kind of guys. And so it was just like, Phil was not the right kind of guy. He was kind of the worst. Yeah, terrible name for a terrible person. It was just an ugly name too. We couldn't remember it for the life of us. And all of a sudden, one of the gals, she like shouted it. She was like, Phil! And we were like, ew! Because it is. Sorry, Libby. Your brother's a lovely person. Has he considered? I can't talk. What am I doing with my life? I talk for a living too. Ridiculous. Has Philip considered a name change? It's not very expensive. I've done it like 3 times. You can just do it. You can just do it, you know? It's a terrible name, and I'm sorry. I said what I said, though. I stand by it. It sounds like, I don't know, something about it. Philip. I don't care for it. I don't like it. Could be worse. I will say that. Could be worse. What's a worse name? As long as it's not your brother's name. That would be my luck. I am the type of person to talk shit, and then I'd be talking shit about the kind of person that I'm talking to. I do it all the time, and I'm not sorry. I said what I said. So, I'm still desperately trying to get this to show up nicely. They're so pretty, though. They deserve to show up nicely. Oh, there's still so much clay in this. I don't know how to get way back into the crevice. Like, this is deep. I'm gonna have to buy, like, a special tool or something. I'm sure there is. Maybe with, like, a really good rinse and, like, a shake. Maybe I'll clean it like I can clean a bong, where I just put, like, sea salt in there. I don't think sea salt would do any damage. Yeah, look at this bullshit. That's just a rock. It's just a rock. I sawed in half. Fucking stupid. So dumb. So many of these were just rocks. Let's see. Although this is another one, I feel like if I cut it this way, it might reveal more of a cavern. But I just don't have the desire to do so again. Because as fun as cutting all that was, oh, so much snow. It's just not a Q-tip. I wouldn't want the like cotton to get snagged on things in there, because then I'd have to get those out too. I don't know. Alvin! Alvin! Yeah, Alvin and the Chipmunks. I'm sure your brother hates that. He's gotta. People with names like that, they typically aren't fans. Ugh, I don't want to go in there with my bare fingers. That's yuck. I don't know. I'll give a few things a try. I have some straw cleaners. Ooh, maybe like a pipe cleaner. I have pipe cleaners. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Do I have one nearby though? That's the magical question. Wipe some of the suds and stuff off my laptop. My laptop was in the splash zone. It's taken all the shots. He goes by Al. I like that. I wish I had a name that could be shortened into like a nickname. I was talking with my friend about going by my middle name, but then she joked about like me not answering to it. She's like, you'd probably forget that you were doing that. And I was like, yeah, no, super valid. I probably would forget. Because it's Renee, and I don't know. I kind of like it better. Like, Heather's okay. Don't get me wrong. But I kind of like Renee. Except it's spelt Renee. There's no, like, ch over the E. But I think Renee, because my mom's like, no, that's how it's pronounced, though. And I was like, are you sure? She's not very cultured. I don't know if she would know, even if it was. But that's just me talking more shit. That's all I do. I just dog on everybody. It's all free game. Heath. I don't think I'm there yet, Libby. I don't know if I'm there yet. To really commit to Heath. We shall call you He. Thank you. Thanks. Well, you can call me Heath and He once I finish my secret crochet project. I'm gonna crochet a strap on, and it's gonna be so fucking funny. I'm gonna put like little beads in it so that it can get momentum when I'm helicoptering. And then one of these days I'm gonna come on screen and I'm gonna helicopter my crochet dick for y'all. Alright, I'm letting you know the plans. Alright, it's gonna get weird once I have the time to get weird with it. Ew, there's like a hair. Get off of me. I hate you. Okay, back to work. There. Yeah, just there. That's terrible. Yeah, see, that's the worst part. Like, I wish I had a name that had like a nickname. Yeah, I saw one lady crocheted like a penis plushie that had like a foreskin on it too. It was really funny. I mean, there's plenty of people getting weird with it, and I respect it. You almost have to. Like, you know, how can you not? It's like, you know what? Yeah, you have creativity and you used it to be weird. You know? You gotta love it. Because otherwise, what's the point? You know, like, yeah, you can make something pretty, or you can be funny. I think always go for funny. Heathy, ugh. Oh, that's ugly, Libby. Stop it. Stop it. You're gonna go in timeout. Heathy. Ugh. Is that a bubble? Oh, God. Get in there. I will say, these are going to be really pretty once I'm finally done with them. Not Heathy. Thank you, Scythe. Absolutely not to Heathy. That's awful. Libby's in timeout. Straight to jail, even. Off to the good. We're gonna ship you to those Venezuelan prisons. Alright? With the rest of the dissenters. You better watch yourself. I say that, but we live in dangerous times. So I probably shouldn't say that. If they were ever doing that, you can totally hide in my house. If they ever try and snatch any of you, you can hide in my house. I won't give you up. Pronounced like Heath. Heth. Ugh. Heth. Listen here, Snookums. Not the Snookums. Oh no. Snookums, are you in trouble? Have you been a bad girl? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I'm gonna go straight to jail now. I'm off. Those are just rocks. More just rocks. That's clay. These ones were like just straight up this weird clay material. Ridiculous. I think they knew. There's no way they didn't know. What's Scythe's new name? Snookums. We should be able to change like your name in Discord to that. Not the Snookums. Yes to the Snookums. I like it. If I'm ever in a relationship, I'm gonna call them that, even if it makes them mad. Be like, oh no, Snookums, are you upset with me? Not the Snookums. It's a terrible nickname. I knew a girl who unironically used darling, and I'm like, what? Like, ew. She's like, darling. I was like, ugh. The guy was basically a troglodyte. I was like, you need to chill, babe. You need to get your shit together. You loved the pictures of people that would crochet or knit things to put on stuff in public, like city mailboxes. Yes. Absolutely. I've seen stuff like that, or like people who like crocheted around a tree. I saw one time and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know why, but I like it. Libby yelling Snookums across the aisle. Absolutely. Yeah, Libby, you have to use Snookums in stream now to address Scythe. Like, hello, my dear Snookums. Your lovely work wife, your YouTube work wife, Snookums. There was a guy on TikTok where he talks about, like, calling girls, like, husk kittens and shit like that, and he's like, here's how to tame her. I don't know if y'all have seen it. I can't mimic him because it's truly cringe in, like, the best way. Oh, it's still dirty. That's okay. Damn, that's deep. I don't know if I can get in there. Ah, ew! Ew! Absolutely not! Ew! Sorry, water just ran down my arm, and I cannot. Disgusting. I'm dead serious about these dish gloves. I wear them for everything. I fucking hate when shit touches me. Ew. Unclean. Let's see, your ex-girlfriend that you've complained about tried to call you by your middle name. Ooh, you shut that down real quick even though she kept trying. Ew, and she kept trying? Ew. That's weird. That's weird. I usually default to, like, honey. Yeah. Honey. I had an ex who would occasionally call me sweetie. But it was only when they, like, wanted something. So anytime I heard it at that point, I'm like, what the fuck? It was, you know, like, you can't implore a nickname only when you want something. Like, that's a telltale, like, it's not even slick at that point. But yeah, I usually default to honey. I feel bad though. It's like, oh, maybe I should do something like more original for the next person, but do they deserve it? You're like Dexter's mom. Thank you. She was hot. She was a bit of a MILF, so I appreciate that. Thank you. Aspirational. I should look into Dexter's dad. What kind of qualities he had. I don't know. But yeah, no. I do I do like them. They help. I don't know. It's something about like my hands getting gross. She would say I always call my girlfriends by their middle names since I'm the only one that does it. My mom uses my middle name. I would think I was in trouble if I heard my middle name. That's weird. That's so weird. To Your ex sounds kind of like a dick. So, let's see. Usually use babe or hun or sweetie. Yeah. Yeah. Occasionally, I do like babe. I wouldn't mind being called like babe or baby. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't hate it. But my ex would call me sweetie, but very rarely. So I'm like, the fuck? What is that about? Whenever I would hear it. But when I would call him, like, if I wouldn't call him honey, he'd be like, oh, you're mad at me. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I hate that shit. Like, yeah, I am mad at you. I am gonna use your name when I'm mad at you. Absolutely. That, and he had like a stupid name. I hated his name. She was. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I didn't insult her unjustly. I just think that's weird. Like, if someone says they don't like something, like, don't do it. It's, how hard is that? That's so weird. To just be like, well, too bad. That's so yuck. Yuck, yuck. Yeah, it was super weird. So, my ex's name was Bryce. And last year, I met like 3 people named Bryce, which I thought was really weird because never had I ever before met anyone with that name. But his mom had the dumbest fucking nickname for him. She'd call him Brycers. And I'm like, what is this? It was such a like weird nickname. I'm like, ew. Like, why? It's ugly and longer. A point of a nickname is to shorten it, dumbass. But I also didn't like his mother. She showed up one day, and I had gone to the farmer's market, and I had treated myself to a big old basket of cherries. And this bitch came into my house, sat on my couch, and ate all my motherfucking cherries. And then just like, she just like left. And I looked and I was like, those were mine. Like, I was so mad. I will never forgive you for eating my cherries, bitch. I hated that. You love videos where women call their husbands and boyfriends by their actual name and they get all upset. Hey, David. I'm not David, I'm Babe. Yeah, they do. They do like their nicknames. It's interesting. It's okay. It's kind of cute. It's a little cute. I'd like to see more with like the gays, but the straights have to have their trends too, I guess. Oh no, yeah, no. Who does that? Who just like comes into someone's house, eats all of their food, and then just, like nothing, Scythe. I was just like, that was so rude. To not even, she ate a whole bag of cherries. She must have like shit herself. That's why she had to leave. She immediately had to go crap herself because you can't eat a whole bag of cherries like that. You're gonna make yourself sick. And she's old enough to know better. She knew what she was doing. Anytime she would come into my house, it was like a power trip. It was, she was one of those people who created like the dynamic of like us against each other. So if she would always triangulate and then he would play into it. So every time she was gonna come over, we would have the conversation about like, okay, we're a team. She's not gonna triangulate us. You're going to make decisions when she asks for something, because he would just like default to me for some reason, and then I would have to be the one to tell his mother no because he couldn't. And so he would continue to do it, and it was so frustrating. But she basically when we bought a house, like not even a month after we bought the house, she asked to move in for an undetermined amount of time. And instead of him telling her no, he made me the bad guy. Like, I was the scapegoat for their weird dynamic. It was definitely a mama's boy kind of thing, except she didn't like him. He was just desperate for her to love him, and she didn't. She just wanted to use him, and I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, the balls of her to just grab them too. Yeah, the cojones. Go to her house and eat her food. Yeah, I would have, but she decided to be poor. So she didn't have a house or anywhere to live. That's why she tried to move in with us immediately. And I was like, no, your mom can't fucking stay with us. I hate her. So I'm a bad person is what I'm warning you about. I am not a good person at all. Like I told her that like she could move in for like a month to get back on her feet, but there were stipulations. I'm like, you have to move in, you're gonna get a job, you're going to save up, and you're gonna get your own place. And instead she wanted to go out to like California, and I'm like, with what money, babe? With what? For how? Like, what are you doing? And so because she was unwilling to like be an adult, I said no. I was like, I'll help you get back on your feet, of course, but I'm not going to let you leech off of us for an undetermined amount of time for you to like go fuck off to California for some reason. I can't afford California. People in California can't afford California. Why the fuck would you go like strand yourself there? It's crazy. No offense, Scythe, but California's expensive as shit. And for her to be doing that, wait, why would that offend you? Anyways, but you know, like California's expensive, and she wanted to be like in like LA too, and I'm like, what are you doing? You don't have LA money. The first one you came upon, his name is David. Ooh, let me copy your link. Yoink. Yeah, my ex-mother-in-law was a trip. She was something. I am not a fan of her. Yeah, I was like not down. Like, you don't get to be a leech. Oh my god, he's making like this sad puppy face. Hold on. I'm not set up to screen share anything. Let's see. Do do do. Do baba do wah. Let's check out David. David. Why do I not have sound? We're gonna get this right eventually, folks. Oh, hold on. I'm so scared it's gonna be loud.
What is today? Why do you call me David? Speak to me.
Hey, David. Can you give me a drink, please?
The mouth hanging open like,
David?
It's like a sad dog.
Am I in trouble?
Are you in trouble? You're a grown man.
What is today? Why do you call me David? Speak to me.
That's funny. That's very funny. I will say that is one of my like biggest icks is when guys kind of do like this puppy dog face. I don't have the mobility in my eyebrows or where they like pull way up. They're like, I don't know, it's like a sad dog, and when a guy does it, I just kind of pisses me off. It has like the opposite effect where I'm just like, I ought to kick you. I don't like men as people. Just as people. I should work on that. I really should work on myself. I got a lot of work to do. I'm glad I'm single. I just can't. I don't know. Stuff like that where I'm just like, ew, why? Ew, why? One of these days. I don't know. I was actually about to say one of these days I need to actually craft and crochet. I did sew for like a minute. So I've been working on a sweater for my brother, and I need to stop drinking while I sew. And I only say that because the hand pocket on his sweatshirt was like off-centered, and also one side was bigger than the other. I totally fucked it up. And so I had to basically undo a bunch of it and redo it and fix it. So I did that the other day. Let's see. You love checking the date to make sure that he didn't miss an anniversary, right? Right? Not the puppy, but what day is it? It is. It is. That's cute. You got so sad. One of your teammates at Samsung would rub your forehead and call it your puppy furrow. Oh my god. What? What? You would rub your forehead? Oh, I would get violent if someone put their hands on me. I did notice that too. I think I should go to therapy. I was like, I'm a little too quick to violence. I do want to lay my hands on somebody. But not like... Yeah, I should go to therapy. I don't know. It would really upset me if someone touched my face. Oh my god. You never noticed that? The puppy furrow? Yeah. I don't know. When a grown man does it, it just boils my blood. I'm like, you're too old to try and be cute with me. If a child did it, like if my little brother did that, I'd be like, oh, and I'd still tell him no, don't get me wrong. But it'd be cute for a millisecond, but for a grown man it's like, oof, just oof. She would. Oh my goodness, Libby. Good for you for tolerating that. Did you if it didn't bother you, that's one thing. That would definitely upset me. And I'm not I'm not a touchy person. I'm a hugger. But I don't know, something about someone touching my face. I dated a guy who would I think it was only our second or third date, and he kept touching my face, on my cheek, and I'm like, ew, stop. No. But I'm also I'm very much I'm a very slow person when it comes to dating, just because I think it's weird how much society is you should have instant access to this person's body, date 2. It gives grooming. I don't know. It makes me uncomfy. No! I have a textured glass, and one of my little dots popped off. Fuck you, Home Goods. You bitch. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta work on that. It didn't bother me. It wasn't daily. Okay, that's good. That's good. Were you doing puppy dog eyes, or were you furrowing your brow? Because the puppy dog eyes, they come up a bit. I don't know, I can't get him to do it, but the guy was doing it decently. Were you pouting at work? A new follower? Thank you. I'm usually doing something much more crafty, I assure you. Thank you so much for following. Oh my goodness. It's not usually man-hatey in here. I mean, not this much. It's still a little bit. Hello, welcome in. How are you? We are just kind of chilling, winding down. I've been cleaning rocks. So we have some good ones. We have some really good ones. Yes, it's a good day. It's a good day. It's a Sunday. Just wrapping up the weekend. I did take tomorrow off as my goodness, I need it. Let's see, it was your concentration face or confused face, I'm sure. I have seen that face. Yeah. I don't mind it. Yay! What kind of rocks? I don't know. I got all of these for Christmas from my sister and my brother-in-law, and we cut them in half, and now we're at the cleaning stage. So I'm not sure what kind, but they're rocks with pretty crystals in them. So they're pretty rocks. And I did tell a couple gals in my fencing class that I got their info from, that I'll be sharing them, because obviously I don't need this many rocks. Um, yes. What am I gonna do with them? I'm gonna display them. I have a big display case back here that I'll put them on. It looks like salt. It does kind of look like salt on the inside, but I'm sure it doesn't taste like it, so we won't find out though. Or will we? I don't know. I'll let you know if I decide to lick it. Do you use light for them? Yes, I do have lights, so that way I can see them sparkle. I like pretty rocks. What can I say? Yeah, Sundays we get violent, apparently. Well, usually I'm stabbing something, you know. I'm shoving needles into things, and I'm cursing at my yarn. So I guess we're never not quite too violent. There's always that underlining layer of simmering anger here. Again, I should really work on that. But will I? That's the big question. Will I? No. No. Mm-mm. No, no, no. I'm just gonna keep learning how to use swords and apparently going to the gun range, which was fun. It was actually a pretty good time. I will say that I was tired. Geologists like rocks all the time. Who is it in Stardew Valley? That freaky deaky who eats the amethyst. What's her name? Okay, I do have some rocks where I do contemplate eating them. And I don't know why, but it has crossed my mind where I'm like, I could just put this in my mouth. But I don't. I don't, and that's what matters. Savage Sundays. Okay, I might steal that title, Scythe. I might steal Savage Sundays. I will say, oh my gosh, I was so sore when I got home. Like, I took, like, a hot shower because it was snowing when we were at the range. It was snowing and it was cold as shit. And I was so sore. My arms, oh my goodness. Abigail eats rocks. So maybe I'll find, like, a little one. I was watching My Strange Addiction, and there's a bitch on there who eats rocks. I was just watching that yesterday. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot. Yes. I don't know. I don't know if I should... Libby, I don't think I'm going to take your advice today. Maybe tomorrow. I'll let you know if I decide to eat the rock. Let's see. They do. You had some friends that were geology majors. See, I considered like going back to school for something like that, and from what I've heard, for geologists, women in that field face a lot of discrimination and harassment, particularly when they are out in the field. So that was one thing that I was like, you know what, maybe that's not for me. Let's see. You didn't hang out with smart people. Me either. I did not hang out with smart people when I was going to school. And it was even worse when I came back. The people that I went to high school with were like so lost in the sauce. Just don't forget where it came from. I'll never forget where Savage Sundays came from, Scythe. I assure you. I'll even credit you. I'll add that to all the descriptions. Named by Scythe. Credit goes to Scythe. Absolutely. I will say I'm really, really excited about these ones. I mentioned it before because they sit so flat. They sit nice and flat. And this is the last one. And I told my dad, I was like, I'm saving this one for the last because it kind of looks like a pile of crap. With like the little top. It like more, okay, maybe like a Hershey's Kiss instead of a pile of crap. But yes. So we got some good ones in here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna dog it. My brother's is still one of the nicest. I gotta clean this. I gotta soak it. It's very clay laden. Let's see here. They will lick it to check the porosity if it sticks to their tongue. I'm not gonna do it. I want to though, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna think about it all the time. Everybody at your uni was pretty damn smart. Engineering school, okay. Yeah, engineering that's a lot. That's heavy. That's so cool though. I didn't even know what I wanted to do though. I didn't know what options I had. So like, I went and did generals, and then I did culinary school. And Yeah, you just went to college that's not engineering. So, did you major in anything? I got defrauded by the Art Institute. So, I majored in a lesson in life that you can be defrauded by a college and you still have to pay them money. Apparently you can, defraud people and they still have to give you their money, which I thought was really weird. I was like, wait, you were found to have committed a crime, you lied, you peddled fake degrees, and you still get paid? Like, how do you fail upwards? I need to fail upwards. Like, I can fail. I'm a bit of a failure. Let me move up doing that, please. Thank you. I think you just have to be born rich and already be like a big business. Must be nice. I did tell my mom that. I was like, you really should have tried harder to be rich. You started as computer science. Oh, that's cool. I did some web development and I learned a bit of back end, and then like the industry for that just kind of turned to crap though within the last 10 years. It used to be something. It really used to be something to do computer science, and now they just kind of treat you. It's really weird actually how they treat computer scientists and web developers as just like expendable now. I don't know. I find that very interesting how they can deem like a degree to no longer be useful. Like, I don't know. My personal hypothesis is when they saw women getting more degrees than men and, pursuing that higher education, that's when they decided to invalidate degrees so that, it didn't upset anything too much. And it's like, oh, well, you got a useless degree. How is any degree useless? You were going to get your master's in computer science. Your career was robbed from you? What happened? How? If only if you want to, but what happened? How was it robbed? Do you have like, let's say, I mean, yeah, Sai, you could still totally do it. There's no time like the present. That's why I'm looking at work programs to go through various training. I was even looking at heavy equipment operating, which would be like an hour drive north to do for that schooling, but it's a lot. Like, not in the terms of like money or anything, just like a lot of work. But I'm applying for a program that basically it runs you through the various trades, and then you pick what you're good at, and then they essentially, once you choose what you're good at, they set you up with an apprenticeship within that, and it's super dope, super cool. Yeah, I mean, there's no, I don't know, there's no time limit on anything. Who was it? Vera Wang didn't design her first dress until she was like well into her 40s. Like, there's no time limit on life. I never want to be like someone who stops learning or stops growing. That would bum me out. Move to Missouri, girl. Girl. Ain't nobody moving to fucking Missouri. You wanted to be an investigator for internet crimes against children. Whoa. But because you were harassed? No. Scythe, I'm so sorry that happened. I am so sorry that happened. That is so fucked up and shitty. Fuck them. Especially for crimes against children. For anyone to harass somebody. There are quite a lot of industries that still have like those outdated mindsets and those, those weird biases, which is so stupid. What? Ain't nobody going to Missouri. You know why. Don't. Missouri is like one of our least educated states in all of the colonies. Missouri is like rock bottom in education. Y'all defund poor people. Didn't Brett Favre, the quarterback from Wisconsin, was caught up in a scandal within Missouri. Basically, money that was supposed to go to impoverished children of the state of Missouri was instead get scythed. Fuck you for that. I am not Heath. How dare you? Anyway, Brett Favre stole from the poorest children of Missouri. The millionaire, legendary quarterback, Brett Favre. Women are just DEI hires, Heather. I mean, look, we might as well use DEI to our advantage, okay? I absolutely play the woman card all the time. I sold cars, and the number of times a man told me that he wanted to work with a man is abhorrent. All right, and I 100% played the sexism card all the time. Girl, Libby, you aren't rock bottom. But in education, Missouri is rock bottom. I just mean public education. I'm sure you all have fine college institutes. That's, at least hopefully they've stopped Brett Favre from stealing more money from you all. That was Mississippi. I thought it was Missouri. Maybe I am confusing Mississippi and Missouri. Oh shit, bitch, I might be. Am I talking shit? Yeah, okay. Mississippi. It says ISSSI. Oh shit. You're right. It was. I'm sorry. Hold on, I need a ukulele. I can make an apology video real quick. I don't have any instruments yet. I'll let you know once I buy my banjo, and I will sing you an apology song. You know what? I'll lick a rock. I didn't actually lick it. I'm sorry, I lied again. I can't stop lying to you, Libby. I can't. Oh, you're ranked 30th. Okay. That's a solid placement out of 50. I'll give you that. You're not rock bottom, you're with the rock lickers. Okay, I'm sorry, I talked a lot of shit. I take it back. I've learned a valuable lesson today. I'll write a song and play you a ditty once I can. Play the air ukulele. I don't even really know what a ukulele sounds like, I'll be so honest. I think I heard a girl play one once when I was in high school. Back around like the 2010s when ukuleles were popular. Trump's a uke apology. I will work on that. All right, once I buy my banjo, I'll write you an apology song. After I buy the banjo, learn the banjo, I'll write you an apology song. So, maybe like 2 to 3 years, depending on my dedication. I do intend to actually be pretty dedicated. So, there's something white trash inside of me that just fucking loves the banjo, and I don't know why. Like, you ever have that where it's like, this calls to me? For some reason. I just want to be like the Dixie Chicks, or the formerly known Dixie Chicks. Now they're just the Chicks. So I spoke a lot of crap, and I'm sorry. But seriously, why did Brett Favre steal from poor people? What a piece of shit. Missouri sucks at a lot of things, but education is okay. Your school was good, and your brother was an educator for many years. That's good. That's good. I said their colleges are likely fine. It's just public education. But I mean, public education is poor wherever. I mean, shit, I went to public school. No, I didn't go to public school in Missouri. I was on the base. I went to a school on the Air Force Base in Missouri, and then I went to public school in Oklahoma, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. So I mean, they're all kind of bad. They're all not great. I literally never learned chemistry, and I did earth science like 4 times because all the states had different curriculums. So, I can't really talk. I have nothing. I got no horse. I got, no horse in this race. I'm just very judgmental. Oh my goodness. Well, I've cleaned most of the rocks. I am going to switch my water. I'm going to then put them back in to continue like loosening the clay and the dirt. This is a rinse bucket. So it's quite disgusting. There's a nice layer of sediment on the bottom as well. But progress has been made. So a lot to be proud of. Your public school was good. Your teachers worked their asses off getting you grants for things. That's good. That's good. I love how you say Wisconsin and Minnesota. You say them with their true accents. Yeah, bullying helps. When you go up north from the south, yeah, I did a lot of work to kick the southern accent to the best of my ability. Otherwise, it was brutal. They were not very kind. Shockingly, kids in Wisconsin were judgmental. Weird. But that was the first time I had ever gone to like a really public school that was like very white. It was very interesting. I was like, oh, y'all got like one black kid here. The fuck? I thought that was so weird to just have just no one else. It was very weird to me. Minnesota, yeah, I know. Fuck, I gotta work on that. I don't know how to say it right though. I've thought about it too. I hear myself say it sometimes and I'm like, fuck, how do I fix that? Minnesota? Do I just need to like speed it up? If I say it really quickly, maybe no one will catch it. Yeah, Minnesota. Yeah. All the time. I used to have an issue with like pull and pull from being down south, and they were just sound the same basically when I'd say them. But yeah, Minnesota. You know, you gotta blend in. You know, that's how I can be like, no, I'm from here because I talk like this, right? Don't change it. But then I don't want to be made fun of for it. Minnesota. Oh, it's the land of the lakes, don't you know? You say it that way, but you do it for fun. LA, like California has interesting accents. Wisconsin, yeah. Wisconsin. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta learn like LA accents. I don't know how you would spell it. Wisconsin. I mean, there's just an S there. There's no Z. The whiz. Although, it is true about cheese. When I first moved there, like the first person I became friends with, I went over to their house, and her dad just like gave me a block of cheese, and I was just kind of like, I don't know what to do with this. So like eventually we ate it. You say a lot of things with a Minnesota accent. No, it's adorable. No, I need to be feared. At 5 foot something. Adorable is too difficult. Oh, I'll just lean into. See, this is. I'll be cute with a gun. Don't use Amberlynn as an example, though. It's so annoying. Oh my god. I'm gonna do that. Cheese. Yeah, no. Apparently he, like, worked in some dairy processing place, and he just, like, gave us cheese. We did, we put one of them in, like, a vent at the school. A boot. Ooh, not a boot. I'll tell you about it later. Don't hold your hand out like that. It looks like you're holding something else. What? What was I doing? I don't remember, Scythe. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do with my hands now. I'll just put them away. I'm scared. What did it look like I was holding? See, now I'm too conscious. I'm too conscious. You cupping something? I don't know what to do. Was that like Anchor? No, it wasn't Anchorman. It was Talladega Nights. We was just like holding his hands in panic. That's all we have here is just pure panic now. I feel critiqued. You know what? I did not give you permission to perceive me. Balls. I gotta work on my cupping, you know? I gotta practice. I gotta be ready, you know? Maybe someone like mouths off and I could just like, ka! Ka-cha! You never know, alright? You just never know. Gotta be ready at all times. But, right, girlies, I am gonna wind this down. Yeah, it's 9:30. That's a fair time. 2 hours stream for finally being back from being MIA. I will try to not drop off the face of the earth so frequently. It was very sudden. Life just really got away from me. Where it was like every night was something, and I'd get home at like 8 or 9 o'clock, and I was like, well, there's my day. Especially my weekends. My weekends have been packed. Aaron sent you that meme with the hands from the movie after you said you never know what to do with your hands. Yes, I fucking love that movie. Ladies, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for hanging out. I greatly appreciate your guys' company. And yes, have a good Monday. And I will chat with you all very, very soon.